team. We always wanted to be 18. And
well, you know what? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube, Facebook, YouTube. Welcome to Overtime Sports Talk. We're talking about right now. If you're watching us on Facebook, you caught us in the middle of a conversation how being an adult fucking sucks. But that has nothing to do with sports. That's going to be a topic tonight on Off the Rails, so we'll get back into that one. Anywho, with that being said, we had two games of NBA action last night, so we're going to get right into this. Okay, we had
Wait, no introduction, sir? I'm just delivering here.
I told you, my fucking brain is gone in there, okay?
I see how it is, sir. I see how it is. You know what? I'm firing myself. No, I'm just playing. Fuck this.
You know what happened? Seagulls were poking at my head, okay?
Apparently. Oh, but if you haven't heard that song, that's gonna. I just want to let you know, if you're watching on Facebook, we're gonna all play that song right before we do our actual video. That's our warm-up song for today. All right, just a little bit of a preview. So now, on the NBA scoreboard, let's get right to it because we have a lot of things we got to talk about.
Wait! I forgot to say something.
Yes.
I'm here with my coworker, my co-founder, Hollywood J Black. How you doing this morning, buddy?
Oh, I'm great, sir. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's Friday. It's the 5th, so you know what that means. The rent's due, motherfuckers. So it is what it is. Everything's good. We had a nice little sports thing, little NBA action, a lot of NHL action last night, and on top of that, we got to talk about these playoffs, bruh. So I don't want to waste anybody's time. So let's get right to it. Let's get right to the NBA action.
All right. So we only had 2 games on the schedule last night. We had Steph Curry hitting the dagger to defeat the Houston Rockets. And we had the Oklahoma City Thunder continuing their winning ways and ending the Clippers' winning streak.
Yeah, it was all bad yesterday. Hold on, give me a second here. Things are just not running as fast as I'd like them to, but there we go. Now we're back. Anyways, so talking about the Warriors and the Rockets game, I'm gonna pull out some of the stats from that game. We knew that Steph Curry was on a roll last night, but this what he did last night was actually pretty interesting. And I want to talk about this for a second because you know I always love talking about my Golden State Warriors. We had Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Well, Steph Curry dropped 29. Klay Thompson drops 28. Draymond Green with the triple-double with the domination in the paint. Andre Iguodala had himself 10 points, 8 assists, 2 rebounds. We had a Jager Pachulia sighting, but, you know, centers in Golden State don't do anything, just like the Bulls centers in Chicago.
Did he break somebody's ankles this week?
No, Jager Pachulia did not break anybody's ankles, just some hearts. As the James Harden-less Houston Rockets. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, my
that's a tongue twister to say early in the morning.
It is. Eric Gordon dropping 30 on him. He's feeling it nicely, apparently, for your boy James Harden. Chris Paul drops 28. Clint Capella, the center, dropping 15. And this is where the problems come in, which is why the Houston Rockets lost. Trevor Ariza, who's their fireman, went 1 for 8 and dropped 3 points. And Ryan Anderson only dropped 6 points. The bench, Gerald Green is doing his thing, which makes me wonder if they should replace Gerald Green with Trevor Ariza in the starting lineup. If Trevor Ariza is going to be going for 1 for 8 in a critical game against Golden State at home, I don't know, bro. That's not a good look.
Is it really a critical game this early in the season?
It is when you're the top 2 teams and you're fighting for that number 1 spot. When you ain't got James Harden, somebody need to step the fuck up. Shoot, hey, Gerald Green is, Eric Gordon is, where everybody else at?
They home sleep, okay? They home sleep.
I'm like this. Look at the people. Where they at? Where bench at? Shoot, they only played 9.
Let them be home sleep.
The Rockets only played 9 players last night, so I mean it is what it is. So
the other game, on the other hand, we had the Oklahoma City Thunder take down the Clippers 127-117. To nobody's surprise, Russell Westbrook notched another triple-double for his career stat line. But Paul George led the Oklahoma City Thunder in points with 31. followed by Russell Westbrook with 29 and Carmelo Anthony with 22. The big three showing up.
So here's the little deal. I actually watched the entire game last night, to my detriment, because that West Coast games come on really, really late and they stay on until 1 o'clock in the morning. But I watched the whole thing last night, and they look like a legitimate team. This was the Oklahoma City Thunder that we've been looking for all season. Paul George was on fire from three-point range. Carmelo at the power forward spot, dominating the paint along with Steven Adams. And this is the thing. When DeAndre Jordan on the Clippers leads your team in points, you know that there's a problem.
Well, I know there's a problem when they're starting Tadosic over Lou Williams. And Lou Williams obviously has had the hot hand over the last few weeks.
Well, exactly. But Lou Williams has been a fire scorer. He dropped 24.
Yeah, I know, but you're starting a guy who only dropped 2 points yesterday over a guy who's been averaging around 22 over the last 8 games.
True. Well, that's the thing. You have C.J. Williams. He had 6, and I saw all 6 of those points, and they happened in the third quarter. And that's sad when a man plays 33 minutes, and he barely got any touches though. So let's start there. We got to figure that part out. They started Wesley Johnson. Wesley Johnson actually showed back up. That was very interesting. DeAndre Jordan, like I said, Blake Griffin dropped 24. DeAndre Jordan dropped 26. But nobody else did anything. Lou Williams came off the bench. He was the last man off the bench and dropped 26. And he played 32 minutes. That tells you a lot and a little at the same time.
That tells you that the guy that they're trying to start right now is absolute hot garbage and should be sitting as the last man on the bench and let Lou Williams do his fucking thing.
Which begs the question. Like I said, we've had this conversation a few times, and I've said that centers, I understand if you only play them for 11, 12, 13 minutes, okay?
Unless it's DeAndre Jordan, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, or Jaleel Embiid.
Of course. And then even power forwards, let's say you only start you play them for 10, 15 minutes, okay, as a starter. I get that because that's some Chicago Bulls stuff, and that it works. It's old school shit. But why would you start your starting point guard only play 9 minutes? And he barely has the ball. Because
he's a steaming pile of hot garbage.
Well, they need to put in Lou Williams. Lou Williams had a double-double. He did 26 and 10.
You want to know what that was? That was Doc Rivers feeling bad for his son being injured. It started hot garbage over the hot hand.
Exactly. And I mean, if they're not going to use him, trade him to somebody that will.
Yeah, Lou Williams has some trade value. Fuck.
Yes, he's been on fire the entire season. He has a ton of trade value. Like if you're not going to use him properly, but I think the problem is that if they do it, somebody's going to end up losing their job, and that guy's going to be Doc Rivers.
Good.
I promise you that.
Good.
All right. So that was a great night for West Coast basketball as a whole. So congratulations to the West Coast, unless your name was the Clippers. You get no congratulations, and Doc Rivers, you can kiss my ass.
And that was pretty much it for the NBA action last night.
That was it. That's all that we heard.
But we had a big night in the NHL.
Huge night in NHL. Huge, as they say around those parts in Trumpville. Huge.
Florida and Boston were postponed because the Bruins didn't want to play in the blizzard, even though the Patriots practiced in the blizzard.
That tells you who's the real team in Boston is.
So let's do a quick rundown of these scores. We had the Toronto Maple Leafs defeat the San Jose Sharks 3-2. The Philadelphia Flyers defeat the Islanders 6-4. The Carolina Hurricanes defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-0. We had the Montreal Canadiens defeat the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-1. We had the St. Louis Blues take the one at home against the Vegas Golden Knights 2-1. Both teams leading their divisions lost last night.
Yes, sir.
We had the Minnesota Wild just stop a mud hole in the Buffalo Sabres.
Which is why I dubbed this section a wild night in NHL. But go ahead.
We had the Dallas Stars defeat the New Jersey Devils 4-3. We have the Colorado Avalanche defeating the Colorado Blue Jackets 2-0.
Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus, sir. Columbus.
Whoever the fuck they are. We had the Calgary Flames defeating the LA Queens 4-3.
The LA Queens, so bad.
We had the Edmonton Oilers defeating Gordon Bombay's Mighty Ducks 2-1. And then we had the very shitty Arizona Coyote defeating the Nashville Predators 3-2.
That's when a shit team plays another shit team and things just shittily happen, ladies and gentlemen.
But Nashville was in the Stanley Cup Finals last year, so they're not really a shit team. It's one of those weird games that happen throughout the year.
Oh, you mean like when
when Kansas City beat New England in the first game of the season this year?
Or like Phoenix wins any basketball game this year?
Because you know why? Because Ben Gordon doesn't want to be there.
Well, one of those Gordons, God damn it, I forget his name.
One of those assholes, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but either way, it was a crazy night in NHL. We saw a man lose a beard last night. We talked about that.
Rest in peace, beard. Hashtag
rest in peace.
R.I.P. beard.
So, hopefully you enjoy. If you're an NHL fan, you enjoyed your NHL last night. If your team lost, still a long season.
But
so
if your team lost, just like in the NBA, it's 82 fucking games. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
The only difference is if your team, and here's what I do appreciate more about the NHL way they handle records is the fact that they go by not wins and losses, they go by the point system, which I like personally, because that means a horrible team with a decent record is not going to get into the playoffs.
If you've been winning games by the skin of your teeth and just so happens to be like the third or fourth best team in your division, you just might not get in.
And that's how it should be.
So, on to what we like to call the meat and potatoes of this broadcast. And we talked about this last night. We said we were going to go in a full depth of this. We have the playoff predictions. We are going to go in depth with the who's who and what's what. First, we're going to start out with the AFC. And as we know that there's two games on deck in the AFC, sir. AFC is Patriot land, so I'm going to let you take the lead on this one.
All righty then. So now we're going to talk about the stuff that ESPN is saying about the New England Patriots tonight on Off the Rails. I got to make a joke about this because it'd be the first game I talk about. The Buffalo Bills sent 1,440 wings to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, yes. I mean, hey, but didn't they deserve it? They said that they were going to. They deserved it.
So, LaShawn McCoy stated that his injury wasn't as bad as he thought, so he might be slated to play tonight. That's a plus for Buffalo.
Tomorrow.
Or whatever. Wait, they will play the fucking game, okay?
Okay, that works.
So let's get into this Jacksonville-Buffalo game. I've said it once. I've said it twice. I've said it a million times. This is a game that Pittsburgh does not want Jacksonville to win.
No, they don't. Because if Jacksonville ends up playing Pittsburgh, it's going to be all bad for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I promise you that.
Even with LaShawn McCoy healthy, my prediction is that Jacksonville defense will be a little bit too much for Tyrod Taylor in that running game, and Jacksonville will win this game by probably a field goal.
Yeah, I think easily 24-21, 27-24. I like that. I like that part. I think that's going to work for me.
I'm even thinking of 17-14.
That could be it too. It could be a nice little defensive game because Buffalo's defense ain't nothing to play with either.
And on the other side, for the Sunday game for the AFC, we got the aforementioned Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Tennessee Titans. We already know DeMarco Murray is not playing in that game. That is going to limit Tennessee on the ground against a stout run defense over in Kansas City. Marcus Mariota is going to have to perform some magic if they want to pull a win out there in Arrowhead.
Well, I remember last year, and when the Titans played the Chiefs, the Titans actually did pull off a miracle last year in Tennessee. But the problem is we're not in Tennessee. They're in a raucous Kansas City crowd. You have Alex Smith with a chip on his shoulder with something to prove. And again, he's playing for what might be the biggest contract of his NFL career. The man is motivated. He saw. I would have taken a look at Patrick Mahomes' performance on last weekend.
Week 17, yes.
Week 17, and already had determined that the writing was on the wall. Mahomes is brilliant. Mahomes is going to work for Andy Reid and in that offense. But, I mean, that comes as Alex Smith might take an L in that section. But as you said, he's going to be the quarterback for the highest paid quarterback in the NFL next to my man, Jimmy Garoppolo.
So now that you've given me the graces, so I think Kansas City wins 24-10, or possibly they could put up 30 easily against Tennessee also.
Yeah, without that thundering and lightning attack that Tennessee has, there's no way they're going to be able to compete with the Chiefs. It might easily blow out 30, 31, 34, somewhere around that. It's gonna be a beatdown,
which will set up the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs at the New England Patriots. The rematch of that Week 1 debacle. I can't wait.
Yes, the Week 1 debacle. And didn't they play in the playoffs last year?
Yes, and New England neutered them.
Yeah, spayed, neutered, dominated. It's the same thing.
So now, since my friend here gave me the pleasure of introducing my side of the playoffs, I'm going to give him the pleasure of taking care of the NFC side of things.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate your patronage. So we have 2 games on deck. Saturday's matchup will include the aforementioned Falcons and Rams matchup, which we've already.
And this ain't around no more.
No dirty bird business. No dirty bird business, especially since the Falcons are going to have to come to LA, which is not home field advantage really, but it's a place, and it's not Atlanta. And
hey, it's better than what they had last year.
And it's a night game. If my understanding is correct, here's the spread. LA Rams are favored to win by 6 points. Todd Gurley is playing in this game. The Falcons can't stop the run. This is going to be a recipe for a blowout. Not as big as a blowout as we talked about for the Titans and Chiefs, but it's going to be I don't think that's going to keep up. I think the Falcons are going to score some points, but it's going to be the Todd Gurley show. I think I can easily see 38-24, 38-21. What do you think, sir?
I agree with you there. I honestly think the Rams are going to put up over 40 on that Falcons defense. And I don't see Atlanta really doing much offensively in this game. You'll have probably a decent performance from Julio Jones, but the Rams do have a corner that is just as big as him, so that might even be questionable.
Exactly. I mean, the fact that Julio Jones has barely touched the end zone this year, and they know how to defend Julio Jones from hitting the end zone, severely limits what they can do. Yeah, Julio Jones will get his yards, but he's not the end zone threat that he used to be. So,
and that has to do with the drunk from USC.
Yes. I don't know what Sarkisian and whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. Falcons fans, just start packing your shit. Just say thank you for a playoff pass and have a good day.
And now the second game on the slate.
The second game on the slate, Panthers Saints, and we had a lot of debate. We had a healthy debate last night about the Panthers and the Saints.
To me, this is the most intriguing matchup of the weekend.
Well, because we don't know what's going to come up. We don't know. We don't because the thing is like this, okay? The Panthers, through adversity, have been able to find a way to win. They've been able to find a way to next man up on the receiving side, next man up on the running back side. And it's come down to the point where Cam Newton has just been playing amazing. However, I watched the Saints last night. I watched the Saints and the Redskins play. It was like an older game that happened this year, and I seen Alvin Kamara, and
that is a scary dude.
Boy, he is scary, right? He's scary as hell. And I had a lot of thought about this. I watched that game and I saw Alvin Kamara and I thought about this and I said to myself, I think that I had to change of heart. I think the Saints are going to win this game.
And you see, and that's what I was saying. The Saints are probably the most well-balanced team in the NFC.
Yeah.
Because if their running game gets shut down, guess what? They have a fucking Hall of Fame quarterback who's going to throw for 400 yards on any given day.
Yeah. And the one thing, I mean, as good as a team as Carolina is, and how they've gelled and how they've faced adversity, the one thing I realize is that when you have something like that, you end up on borrowed time. And I think the time has been borrowed. I would say if Carolina was playing at home, I think they'd have a better chance, and I would probably have rolled with Carolina. The fact that they're going to be playing in that raucous New Orleans crowd who hasn't seen a playoff game in 3 years. Yeah, I think New Orleans got it. I really think that they do. And as much people think that the crowd doesn't have anything to do with it, that's bullshit. I played enough football games in my high school career to let you know, and in college, the crowd is real. The crowd is definitely real.
So what's your final score thoughts for this game?
38-31.
I'm going with a 28-24 or 28-17 outcome. Saints. I think all 4 home teams will win, unlike next week.
Oh yes, yeah. So now that you've seen our predictions, you have it here. So you have the Chiefs, the Rams, the Jaguars, and the Saints advancing in the playoffs.
All right, so
that is our predictions direct from Ovatyme Sports Show. You heard it here first.
So now I want to get the anything else section started off real quick, and I want to give a shout out to New Japan Pro Wrestling for putting on an epic Wrestle Kingdom show the other day. The show lasted 5.5 hours, headlined by Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. And we even seen, I don't know if you've seen the highlights of this yet, we've seen Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, give the Crossroads to Kota Ibushi off the side of the ring to the ramp.
Yes, I saw that. That was flipping insane. If just real quick, if anybody ever wants to see whatever happens in wrestling, they want a quick 10-minute recap. I do this at work. Hopefully my boss isn't watching. But when I do this at work, I watch this show. Shout out to this YouTube channel called Wrestling Reality. They give you basically a 10-minute rundown of what happened, or 10-minute rundown and clips of what happened on the show. So if you missed something, if you missed the broadcast, because New Japan didn't broadcast this on American pay-per-view.
Only if you had the New Japan app.
Yeah, the New Japan World app. That's the only way that you would have seen that pay-per-view. Otherwise, it was an amazing show. Kenny Omega with the win over Chris Jericho.
Which it looked like he killed Chris Jericho with that one winged angel on the chair.
Yeah, and I would say, in all honesty, I think that we might see a Bullet Club invasion come after WrestleMania. I think that's what we're leading to.
Well, we're going to save that for when we start doing the infamous Wrestle Talk.
Yes.
We will save that, and we're going to start that soon.
All right.
So, Mr. Black, what do you got to say to the people?
All right, folks. We are ending our first week of Ovatyme Sports Talk. I want to thank everybody that has joined us, that has watched us, that has shown us love and respect. I appreciate every single one of you. With that said, I also want to let me close that real quick. I also want to let you guys know that if you want to follow us, if you believe in what we're trying to do here on Simple Black Entertainment and the Ovatyme Sports Show, what I want you guys to go ahead and do is click it to the left on YouTube and click down and hit that subscribe button. And when you hit that subscribe button, I'm talking to you YouTube users right now, baby. If you hit that subscribe button, you're going to see the best and Simple Black Entertainment has to offer. You're going to be seeing some of the best stuff ever. I promise you. We got everything going on deck. We have our video game challenge, which we discussed in full last night, and I'm going to be reposting that all day long about the video game challenge.
All year.
All year. It's going to be every day, all year. You're going to get annoyed at me. You might unfollow me on Facebook. I don't give a shit. So you know what? And that's how I fucking feel. So, but on top of that, on Facebook too. If you watch us on Facebook, and I'm talking to you Facebook right now, I want you to go ahead and follow Sinful Black Entertainment. This video, if you just happen to miss my live, it'll be posted on my page and the Sinful Black Entertainment page. When you do go on the Sinful Black Entertainment page, you'll be able to see all the content that Sinful Black Entertainment has to offer. We make sure that you guys are able to see that as well. And Mr. Phil, Mr. Sin is sending that video, sharing that right now. We're going to share it on Sinful Black Entertainment. Make sure, Mr. Sin, let them know how they can watch all of our videos and make sure that they stay on point.
All right, people. If you're watching this after the fact, which I know people do, you'll see our little logo right there next to where it says anything else on my banner. You see our logo right there. You'll see it down there in the other corner too. If you highlight that son of a bitch and the button's red, that means our little demons' asses are burning. And with that being said, you need to click that button. Make sure the asses don't get too hot. I noticed last night that we have reached over 1,200 subscribers now, so thank you to our new people.
That's right. I love the new people. Gotta love it. I love it. And I'm dancing.
And with that being said, also hit that bell icon because I am live streaming video games all the time. I have no rhyme or reason for what games I stream at what given time. It doesn't fucking matter to me. It's something I like to do. But anyway, with that being said, I am your boy Big Sin. YouTube, Facebook, y'all know me as Big Phil, Big Sin, however the fuck you want to reach me as. And that's Mr. Hollywood J. Black.
Everybody knows me as James, a.k.a. Hollywood J. Black, in the building, live and in effect, sir. That's how we do it in the 702, 407, wherever I reside. That's how I ride, goddammit.
So, with that being said, we are out this bitch. We will see you tonight off the rails. I got the alcohol right over there. Logan Paul, you're on my hit list. I'll talk about you tonight, my friend. And we are out this bitch. Deuces.
Man, I'm not your friend.